What is up, friends? We are here to do the video you have all been asking for a long time.
You've been asking, a lot of people asking for it?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, people are interested. They want to know how much it costs to build a house.
Do you really want to know?
Do you want to know?
Well, here's the thing, though. We got to have like 8 million disclaimers here.
Yes, let's just start the disclaimers right now.
Yeah. First disclaimer.
What is the first disclaimer?
There's so many.
There's so many.
Two of the things that we kind of looked at when we were making decisions on how to, I don't know, pick our supplies and resources is the value of how much time we're going to have. Time.
Yep.
How much time it will take to install, or how much little time it will take to install, or how much it costs.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of in that order. So depending on what it is, so some things are going to be astronomical,
Yep.
and we know that. And also, we were building, and some of the stuff was different phases. Was like some of the prices were really high.
Yeah.
So also where we live. So
where we live.
some things were cheaper, but a lot of things were not. I'm not dogging where we live, the community we live in. It's the fact. It's hard to get things for everybody here. So like everything's a little bit more than some places. So like food even.
We're pretty remote.
Pretty remote. So let's jump in. What's the other little
I guess the other big disclaimer is, this is what the two of us did.
yeah.
This is not to say this is like relevant to anywhere and everywhere.
Yeah.
It's just, for the house we built, where we built it, and when we built it.
Yes.
So,
The first part was just that the house we built.
Right.
It's like literally the stuff that we put in the house. If you were in the same situation, you do not have to choose the same
Nope.
products.
Yeah.
It'd be a lot cheaper, and we knew that going in. So, sorry, you're saying?
oh no, that's going to segue into how we're going to start this video, which
Yeah.
is describing the house that we built so you have context for the numbers we're going to share.
Yeah.
So let's talk about just kind of like basic details about the house, size,
Sure.
dimensions, all that.
So yeah, we got 35 acres. We purchased that in 2021,
Yep.
November. I think we started looking like.
May.
Yeah, we started looking seriously in May. We started talking about it in 2018. So
Yeah.
this is a long
Long journey.
and we might even had like little side conversations in the time we were dating, because we married in 2018. So
Yeah.
yeah, we could have. Anyway, so we got 35 acres. We're in Custer County, Colorado, and we moved on the property in September.
2022.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we left Florida June 2022. Finally got on the property in September. We were traveling and doing some other stuff. I think I started the shed.
Yeah, and we had purchased the 35 acres of raw land, so no driveway, no utility hookups, no city like electric,
Nothing.
no sewer, like
There's
none
junk.
of that. Just junk. So when we talk about that, we'll talk about the cost of those too.
Yeah.
What should we say about the house? Size, all that stuff.
Yeah, so let's go to the timeline. Still use up the timeline. Still here.
Yes. Sorry,
yeah,
I'm
we
jumping.
started it. We moved on in September. We got the array up and running for the solar in November, right?
Yep.
And then
We
we
turned it on.
left.
Then we left.
As soon as that came online, we pretty much left
Like a week later,
Like
yeah.
a week later, yeah. So we got it on and running, but it wasn't permanent. It's another reason why things are still going along.
Yeah.
We just finished the house technically, but we technically been moved in for a few months now.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of redoing of solar I had to do, and that was kind of a lot of off camera because it's kind of like a repeat of stuff I already did. So,
Yeah.
anyways, then we came back in April
April we came back. Yep.
April 2023,
Back on the property.
and then May we started the foundation and been grinding since May of
Yes.
2023. So, yeah, that's where we are now.
That's how we got here.
Yeah, May and then here.
Yeah,
so,
May and then
just skip all the other stuff.
Yeah, that's the last video.
Yeah.
You can watch that.
So a little bit about the house.
Yes. So just some basic insights. The house is about like 1,050 square feet. Does that sound right?
Something like that. Yeah, it's probably a little less, a little more.
Okay. It's a
and then-
big rectangle.
It's a big rectangle. That's all it is. When you look at it, I mean, people tell us all the time, like, "Oh, we see it outside, and then we come inside, and it's so much bigger." And I don't know what that means, because to me, it's just like,
Looks as big as any other house around.
yeah, it's not that big, but it's just tall.
Yeah.
But inside, the square footage is not too big, but that height helps. make it feel a little bigger, more roomy.
Yeah.
But yes, a little over 1,000 square feet.
How tall is the tall wall?
That wall is approximately 14 feet from the subfloor.
From the subfloor,
From
not
the subfloor.
the ground.
From the ground outside, it depends on where you're going, but I mean, yeah, it's about 20-ish.
Yeah. And then the short wall is what, 10?
That one is approximately
9?
it's 9.5 was the stud I put in there, and then you put 3. Yeah, it's about a little under 10 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the roof pitch is, what do you call it, like a 412?
It was right under 412, so we're looking for 412. Okay, if you're moving here, this is for the people who want to live in Custer County. We've had a couple people reach out to us. Just look up the Custer County Homeowners Handbook, I think it's called.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, well, if we can, we'll put a link to it below. It's really easy to find. Custer County, Colorado Handbook. I think it was written 6 years ago, so it's not updated, but not much has changed. And they tell you a bunch of stuff like, hey man, stuff you might want to know before you move here. And they
important
talk,
stuff.
yeah, they talk about the wind. I don't know if radon was on there. I think it was.
May have been.
Yeah, they talk about that stuff, wind, snow loads, all that jazz. So the roof pitch in that there's no building code here, but there's definitely tips and suggestions. So the roof pitch that they suggested is 412. I looked around. There's not a lot of there's a lot of houses that are not 412, but this is a little bit 412, and this is a little less than 412. And if you don't know what a roof pitch is, 412 is like for every 4 or whatever number. It's a ratio. So whatever. I don't know why they don't dumb it down. The what are they called when you round it down? so it's 412. You can go 2.5, whatever. But for every 12 inches, it's going down. That's going I think horizontal. Yeah, it goes up like 4. We did an ICF foundation, so it's an insulated concrete form. And you can go back and check that out in May of last year. That was not fun.
No, it was not.
It's done.
Yep.
But man.
Other basics about that house. So it is a 1-bedroom, 1.5 bath. We have 1 full bath, 1 half bath. We never have to share or fight for a toilet. That was one of my conditions.
That's one of her conditions.
Yep. And then what else?
Everything's electric.
Yeah, everything's
So
electric.
We're running off 100% electricity, no propane. We'll have backup power. We'll use propane, and we just plan to just keep investing into solar. I mean, that's just the goal. That's if you're wondering how we're doing this, it's like we just accepted that fact. It's definitely more affordable. More affordable. I mean, like I'm talking about a difference of a couple $100 for an item that's $1,000 or $2,000. So it's a little bit more affordable than it was a couple years ago. But it's possible. And
now that you guys know all that about the house,
yeah,
let's talk some numbers.
Numbers. Oh gosh. I looked at these numbers. I mean, I knew that it was pretty high. Every once in a while, a friend would ask me like how much thing costs. I'm like, oh, let me look it up and stuff. So I'd have those numbers in my head, but it's might be too soon for me to revisit it, but we'll see how we're attacking.
So a couple disclaimers here about this.
Yeah.
1, some of these costs we did finance, some of them we cash flowed. And 2, the best thing that we did is we had a giant spreadsheet for different line items of things, so we could go back and see how much they cost. And sometimes it got weird because I'd like move things around to do some little accounting magic. But this is pretty darn close. Pretty darn close to what we spent. So
it might be with it like a little over a couple thousand.
Yeah.
It's not. It's close enough.
Yes, for you guys, you can trust that it's pretty darn accurate.
It's pretty accurate. And then we'll talk about some of the stuff that if we did hire people. There's really not a lot, but there's some stuff like I'm not going to drill a well.
No.
I don't have that stuff. So, anyways, the first thing is the land that we paid.
The land.
Paid for. We bought this land, 35 acres for 52 or 53, something like that.
I think it was like 52.5.
Yeah, 52.5 in 2021.
Yes.
And and anything about that?
Not really. Just
we're just going to go through this. It's a lot, so we're going to go through these.
Yep. And then a couple of things that we focused on first were the utilities.
Yes, we needed to get a septic and the leach filled in because we wanted to have the RV on here.
Right.
And we paid somebody $16,500, which we say we got
I think we were price gouged.
I think we might have been, yeah, too.
I think you can get that done for a lot less.
Yeah. So you can technically do it yourself here in this county too if you really want to. It's not fun.
Yeah.
I talked to someone who did it, but it saves you a ton of money.
Yeah.
Driveway.
Driveway also was done around that same time, and that was $7,000.
And our well, we drilled to about 150, and we paid $22,000.
Our well depth is 350 feet.
Oh, was that what I said?
Yep. Well depth is 350 feet, and we have really hard rock here, granite. So, you know, if you don't live in the Rocky Mountains, it probably costs less.
Yes.
So take that into consideration.
I've read some people doing their own well,
Yeah.
25 foot, 10 foot. I'm like, whoa, that's crazy. So with the well pump and all the insulation, they have to throw a pipe down there. 350 feet is about, what did we say, 7,000?
7,000 was our first payment to get all that stuff done,
Oh, yeah.
and then, like you're saying, with the water pump and everything and the connection to the house, that's about 2,000.
Yeah. So they did there was the pressure tank.
Oh, the pressure tank.
Pressure tank,
That's
yeah.
very important.
So they put that in there. So it was about 9,000 for everything for that. We looked at doing it ourselves again too, and it's like 350 feet. No, it feels like 25 feet or a little less or something.
And they dug that line to the house.
Yeah.
That they put everything in, so it was a lot of work.
6 feet deep.
Yeah.
All right, our solar setup. We have a whole video about that. Check it out. That video is like super out of date now because we've changed a lot of that equipment. But we'll do another one soon.
Yes.
We paid approximately $32 for everything so far. That might include conduit, maybe not. I don't know. There's a lot of doodad stuff I bought.
That's replacing that doesn't include in replacing our inverters. I'll
Yeah.
say that, but
That's
is
true.
getting a lot of batteries.
Yeah.
And like the whole array and stuff. So you can check out that older video, but no, we're going to do an updated recap.
Yeah.
soon.
Real quick about it. I've got 10,000. We got about 10,000 kilowatts of 10,000 kilowatts. 10
A bazillion.
10,000 kilowatts. We got 10 kilowatts about of solar going into our 4 inverters, which are 6,000 each. All right, UPS. So we got 24,000 watts there, and then we got like 8 or 10 amp hours. Just 10 of those battery packs. I think only 8 are hooked up right now.
So that's basically what it took for us to really like live in our RV on the property.
Yeah, be functioning. Now you don't need as many batteries as that.
Nope.
Since we are going 100% on like solar and everything, we want more batteries. Most people have propane for heat.
Yeah.
And also, or that sometimes the propane is their backup heat for their wood stove. So pellet stoves are really big too. I think the pellet stove it's probably one of my favorite things.
It's an amazing invention.
Yeah.
So cool.
It's so cool.
All right, lightning round. So we went through the details of the house, we went through the land, we went through the utilities. Now it's time to get into the actual home building.
Yes.
So let's start with the foundation.
So our foundation.
Jasmine, you're covering everything.
So for our foundation, we used ICF, and with all the other stuff the accessories that you needed with it was about 7, I think.
Okay.
I don't know. Actually, I got to look back. Chelsea had a number there, but it didn't seem right. So it's anywhere from 5 to 10. If it's the concrete, it's another 5, so that's 15.
10 to 15.
Yeah, 10 to 15.
You know, that depends on how much crawl space you're doing, how much concrete costs,
Yeah.
size of your house. So a lot of factors go into that.
Yes. Framing to include lumber. I think all the sheathing, right?
Yes.
All the sheathing to include the roof, the sides, and the subfloor.
Yes.
Yes, just the sheathing. And the wood, 17,000. And we got that here in town,
Yep.
locally.
And that's the zip system sheathing.
Yep.
Yep.
And then all the wood and dimensional lumber.
Yep.
Windows, 16.5. So these windows are awesome. These doors are awesome. Amazing.
Yes.
We got them here.
No
locally.
complaints about the windows. We knew we were going to splurge on windows. So some people asked, like, what did you decide to spend money on? What did you decide to save on? We paid out of pocket for our windows because we were like, this house needs to have a lot of light. We're going to be in here a lot in the winter when it's cold.
Technically, we built the house around the windows when we're trying to figure out how we were going to do things. The reason why we designed this stuff is like can we visualize ourselves doing this? Can we
Yeah.
do this? And a lot of the times after the fact, I'm like, how the heck did we do that? You know, so when we were designing the house, when we were putting the ICF together, or when whatever, I think I measured it out, and it was if I didn't cut them, so if every piece was uncut and just linked, it looked like Legos. If they're all linked, then this wall was going to be 52 feet. I measured 50 feet, so I was like, okay, well, how about I just leave that 2 feet in? Same thing. This wall. This one was going to be like 18 feet. If I didn't cut anything, it would have been 22. So that's how we got our 52 feet long and 22 feet wide long this way, because the ICF, I didn't have to cut those. You cut them, you have to do all this bracing and all this stuff. I was like, how about just not do that and then leave it? And here we are. So we redesigned the house based on that. All right, the doors. Mega door.
So the mega door on the front wall, the giant double door, supersized accent, not even accent, main piece of our home, basically, because it's so ginormous, was just over $6,000.
Yes. I love that door.
Totally worth it.
Totally worth it.
I mean,
We don't use it.
we don't use it. We don't have a deck yet, but the amount of light it lets in, it's great. It's fantastic.
Yeah, the door is awesome. So our smaller exterior door, we paid about 12,000. 1,200 for that. Storm door, $550.
Yep.
And then we have one interior door. And this one, you can blame me for all these prices and everything, because I was like, I want it big. So we got one interior door. That was $600. That was not cheap, but that's for an interior door. That thing's a beast.
It's 8 feet, which is not standard,
Yeah.
and it is solid. It doesn't have
solid.
what do they call it? Hollow? Or
Yeah, hollow core.
Hollow core. It's not a hollow core door, just to help with the way the sound bounces around in here.
Yes.
So joists, that includes the I-joist for the roof, and we also use similar joists for, what do you call it, the floor?
Yeah, the floor
Subfloor?
floor joist and the roof. So we used, technically they're joists, but like trusses. Is that what people call them? But their trusses are different.
And that was $7,600
Yes.
for both of those.
That was both of them 76? Wow. Okay.
So all of the roofing, we're not entirely sure what that means at this point, because it was just a line item that says roofing. It was $19,000. I thought that maybe included the joists and the zip, but I don't really know at this point. But that could include those things. It definitely includes the underlayment we did for the ice,
Yes.
ice barrier, and then the metal. I think the metal was a little expensive.
Yes, we definitely splurged on our roof. I think it's called a standing seam. And one reason we did that is because the heat fluctuations and everything. So metal expands in heat. So our seam is basically covered. So it's just whatever. You don't see any screws or whatever on the roof. That's whatever. The roof should be here longer than we are.
Yeah.
That's
The metal
goal.
performs really well here. It helps the snow melt,
Yes.
which we've noticed, which is awesome. And we don't have to worry about hail as much, which is great.
Yeah.
And I thought there was one more benefit. Oh, if we ever put solar on the roof,
Yeah.
it'll be easy to use those mounts that way, which is nice.
Yeah.
So
Cool. Drywall. Oh my gosh, I was just thinking about drywall the other day and how much I don't miss it.
nope. I hate drywall.
We spent $2,500 on drywall. That doesn't seem that bad.
No,
I
and
think that was right on the budget.
it was right on the budget, and the only reason we were that close is because we didn't realize when we had budgeted for this that there's that mildew specific resistant drywall for the bathrooms.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Chelsea's
Dad.
father. Yeah.
But I think it would have been even less, if you're just buying regular drywall.
Yeah.
And we did what, 1/2-inch drywall, not the 5/8?
I don't know. Yeah, I think we did 1/2 inch everywhere.
Right.
Flooring,
Yes.
vinyl floor. So we use completely vinyl. Looks like a laminate.
Yep.
Yeah, it's awesome. I used to hate vinyl, the term vinyl. If you said vinyl to me, and they're like, oh no, don't worry, it's luxurious.
Luxury
LVP.
vinyl planking.
Yeah, it's at the luxurious vinyl, and they're like, wait.
We
I'm
can charge you
interested.
more.
Yeah. So, anyways, I love it. We spent $4,300 on that for everything.
Yep.
Can you imagine this though, real quick? Chelsea and I originally were like, we're gonna go ahead and fence the entire property ourselves. We didn't do anything.
We can do anything.
This was 2 years ago.
This was definitely in 2022.
2022. there ain't no way.
There's
I'm
no
doing-
way.
I can do that. I was like, because we were wanting to do some of it for the dogs while we're build. We wanted to keep the cows out, so we hired somebody to come out, give us a quote. We only did approximately 20 acres of
Yep.
the property, not 20, not 35. We
Not
still have
all of it.
another 15-ish
Yep.
on the other side to do, which we may do, maybe not. I don't know. But we,
Worth every penny.
it was worth it. We paid him $15,000 to do that.
Yes.
They knocked it out in 3 days?
3 days.
Yeah, it was a team of like 8 people.
Yeah.
What was it, 3 days or?
It's like 2.5-ish.
It wasn't that long. All right, cork siding, same thing we said. We brought people in there. That was separate, but the siding alone and shipping it from, I think it was shipped from Washington State. Was
Yes.
it? Washington State. It was $20,000 for that. They came in. Yeah, whatever. So I think it's awesome. It has an awesome R value. I mean, we have like R7 just on the outside, plus the 6, plus whatever we sprayed in there. So it's not too bad. You can still cover it. We won't.
Yeah, it looks really
paint
cool.
it if you want.
We're super happy with it, and you can use whatever you want for your siding, but for us, and we've talked about this in previous videos, we decided to splurge on the cork siding because it meant saving on costs for insulation in the walls.
Yes.
And you can kind of go into some
Except for
mental
that spray foam.
except for the spray foam, but you could do mental gymnastics to like figure out how it works. But at the end of the day,
Yeah.
it cost us less or about equal to get the cork siding than to get a bunch of like batten insulation and put it all in the walls.
So
and then
what-
the time to do that too.
Real quick, what Chelsea's referring to is actually on the outside of the walls.
Right.
When we started, I was like, I want to do exterior insulation, just like a coat. I'm wearing a coat, and I go outside. It's insulated on the outside of my body.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I want it. So in order to do both, we did the cork.
So that's one of those trade-offs, where you figure out
Mm-hmm.
where your time and your money and your energy is going to
And what you want.
and what you want.
If you don't want it, there's no big deal. Put metal up there.
Yeah.
Metal is a little bit more affordable, and you throw it up and you're good.
Mm-hmm.
Insulation.
Insulation.
So if you watch our videos, we did 2 types of insulation.
Yep. So we had spray foam that was actually on the walls a couple inches, and then in between the roof joists, a couple inches there.
Yep.
That cost about $11,000.
Yep.
And we actually did not use.
All of it.
We didn't use all of it. I forget off the top of my head how many tanks
We
didn't
have
use.
3 left, and they're about $800 each. So we used probably, I don't know, right under 10K
Yeah.
on that.
So
Yeah, and then the batten, the
went also in between the roof joists.
yeah,
That was about 2,000.
Mhm.
So, some people have strong opinions about spray foam.
oh
but
yeah, we've heard it all.
We've heard it all. You don't need to repeat any of it to us. It's already in there.
I don't care. Plumbing, I think that includes. I think the plumbing though, quote, includes everything plumbing, sinks, right?
Probably.
Bathtub. I don't see it else in there. So I'm
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
sure it includes the bathtub.
Oh, yes,
sinks,
sorry,
everything, not the tile,
Not
but
the
like all the pipes, all the accessory. I mean, that's so I'm like kind of
It's a
happy
big
with
category.
it. Yeah, there's a lot. The water filter, the water softener.
Mm-hmm.
I think the water heater is in there.
I don't think so. We paid for that separately,
Oh, we did.
and the water heater. But it would be the sinks and the bathtub.
The sinks, bathtub, the showers, all the spigots.
Like the hardware.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the water bonnets. We got some really fancy ones too. They're really good. We spent 10K on that, approximately. And electrical, same thing. That includes all the.
Does not include lights.
Doesn't include the lights, but all the wiring.
All the wiring. Wiring
Yeah.
can get expensive, you
And
guys.
some of it could have intersected with some of the solar stuff. I don't know. We bought a
It's a
bunch of
little
stuff.
overlap there.
Yeah, there's a little overlap. We the outlets.
Mm-hmm.
Man, we went.
Got a lot of
I just felt
outlets.
like I was just buying. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, we spent 12K on that, which
So-
I think is pretty good.
And let's add the caveat here that is essentially almost just material costs.
It's only material costs.
So we tried to find a plumber and an electrician to install. We could not find them.
They're just so busy.
Yeah, we're
They're
very
so
rural.
busy. We need a lot more people doing
Yeah.
plumbing trades.
And electric, we got a quote starting at 12,
And they're like, this is probably gonna go up.
but that's going to go up. So, let's just assume that was probably going to be about 15 to 20. Plumbing, I didn't get a really great quote, but it probably would have been, again, about 15 to 20. So with those costs, you know, we're basically going to assume, and that's like plumbing at 10,000, like you said, it includes like the tub and the sinks and things, which we would have had to buy anyway.
Yes.
If we had hired a plumber. So, you know, we could have saved anywhere from like $10,000 to $20,000 doing plumbing and electric ourselves. Easy.
But we also would have saved time hiring someone else to do it. And I wouldn't have to do it.
So again,
And then I wouldn't know how to do any of this stuff.
time and energy
Yeah.
and money
My back.
and back pain.
Cabinets.
Cabinets. So this number is a rough estimate. We had a budget for this. We used the IKEA system, and it was going to be about $8,500. Because of all the IKEA mishaps, you can go watch that video. I think it ended up being about 10 to 11 when all is said and done. So still, we got a lot of cabinets. Not mad about it.
Oh yeah, we're not even fully using all of them yet.
No. So we wanted a lot of storage. There's not a lot of storage like built into the house, so we needed that.
Yeah, we did. We kind of failed on some of that stuff.
Yeah. The counters,
What's up, girl?
the counters were about 4,000.
Were they?
They were, but that's the cost of all of the butcher block, the quartz, but all the tools as well.
Oh yeah, a lot of these numbers are going to include tools. I forgot to mention that. Some of the electric,
Yeah, a lot of
plumbing,
tools needed specific
framing.
Yeah.
Some of those tools are in that.
Yep.
That's true.
So that's like what it costs to like materials and tools, so we could do it ourselves.
Yeah.
So it's materials and tools, but not really like labor if we hired
Yeah.
someone out. So the cost for the actual, like just the countertops, the quartz I think was like 800,
Yeah.
and the butcher block must have only been like a couple hundred.
It was like 300 is the most expensive. 350 was the most expensive one.
So like 1,500-ish
Yeah.
for that, but we needed some very specific things to
Yeah, that's
get
what it
that
was.
done. So,
Yeah, and there's only one more?
and only one more category I have on here, which is paint. So we went with lime paint, kind of specific, kind of a niche product. I know there's a lot of things out there about like making a lime wash look for your paint. We went with actual lime paint. It's non-toxic, no VOCs, doesn't leave that smell of paint in your house, natural materials, kind of earthy colors. So we're really happy with it. Brian had wanted to use it for a long time.
I've had my eye on this paint for a long
It is
years.
Yeah, it is a pricey paint.
Yeah.
This is a category we were like, we will pay more to have this. So we spent $2,000 ish. That actually includes some of the exterior paint though.
Yeah, and some of that we got from the
Which we
local
got in
hardware
town.
store.
Yep. So that's not the fancy paint, but that was
It's still nice paint.
it is nice
really good
paint.
paint.
That we used on like the door, and the fascia and the trim outside.
The store you see open will still get paint.
Yep. And then, but then it's all the interior paint, including extra paint that we bought for retouches, because we still need to do some retouches. So sounds like a lot, but honestly, actually, if you got like your basic hardware store paint and then hired someone to paint your house for you, I've seen that anywhere from like $5,000 to $10,000.
Oh yeah.
So we splurged on a really, really nice paint and still came in like way under what it would cost to hire that out. So
All of these numbers here, like I said, the tools, some miscellaneous stuff here and there for that project or whatever, electrical. I mean, there's plumbing. I'm like, oh, I need this now or something. And also, I have not figured it out, but there is a lot of, there's no fraud, waste, or sorry, abuse. Fraud and waste are gone, but there is a lot of, fraud and abuse is gone. But there's a lot of waste in here too. So a lot of those numbers are inflated because I either screwed up, or maybe I ordered too much and had to return it, or maybe I'd never returned it. I bought something and never returned it.
Yeah.
So a lot of that's in there, and that just comes with my lack of experience and knowledge, and sometimes, and that's okay. And overall, this project wasn't just about us not hiring people, because we did hire people. It was about us having some sort of a idea and a dream and creative outlet, and then making it happen, So that's why that whole term is line up the stars, because we're trying to line up our lives in a way that that the stars are in line with what we want it to be. You know, like that's it. So that's the whole idea. And yeah.
So I'm gonna say the total for
Oh
everything.
yeah, say the total. Say the total.
It's just gonna be here.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna say it, but we changed some numbers as we were figuring it out.
Yeah.
So this is the number on the screen. And
Of everything.
of everything. But caveats here, disclaimers. This does not include appliances. We had to buy all new appliances because we just didn't keep them from our last house. And it doesn't include, I don't think the bathroom vanity is in this total. It may or may not be. And also some new furniture. So this couch we're on,
Oh yeah, that doesn't matter.
things like that.
That's not
So,
part of the build though.
yeah.
So awesome. Yeah, that number again. I don't know. Don't let that. If you're ever wanting to do anything similar to this, don't let that number scare you. You can do it for way more affordable, different design. There are definitely things that, like, if we were to do this again, I'd probably change. But I'm not really regretting anything that we did do. You know, it's done. We're happy with it. There's still things to do. But one thing, we mentioned this wall. I love this wall. I did not like making this wall.
Putting
it
building
together.
around it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just not fun. It was just too high. I'm not a.
It's hard.
I'm not really. I am afraid of heights, but I'm not stupid. Like I have a healthy fear of heights. You know what I mean? And working on that wall is not fun. So one thing I would do is probably tweak that somehow. I don't know what. What was the other thing we were going to talk about?
I think that was the big one.
That's pretty much it.
It's almost time to walk the dogs, so just put up with this for a second.
I love you. You're so.
But yeah, if you have anything else you want to know specifically, leave it in the comments below.
Yeah.
We may or may not answer depending on privacy stuff.
We're pretty private people, so like putting out numbers out there, it was definitely a little weird at first, and something we talked about months ago.
Yeah.
But just know that this is literally the thing I'm proudest of the most. So like the number of the price, the height, how high or how low the price is, like means nothing to me. Like it could be $1 million, and I'm like, I was crying last night, literally bawling. I'm just like, I can't think of what I need to do tomorrow that I have to do for like inspectors or anything. Like I did it, you know. I'm still talking with inspectors, still stuff, but it's like I have nothing on my itinerary for tomorrow. So there's so much joy and love that's come into this. That's what this place is built on. And so the number is almost nothing to me, you know. So just to put that in perspective.
Yeah. So yeah, we're taking a little break. Like Brian said, there's not really anything on the agenda right now, but we will do a video reviewing our solar system setup since we have expanded it since our last video.
Yes.
So that will happen probably in a couple weeks.
We're gonna pass the inspection first.
Yeah, that's number one.
And that's one reason I haven't shared, because it's like, hey, let's just make sure.
We want it to be right.
I want it to be right, and I want to be at peace. So, but we'll share that. It's very. I don't know if I could go back to like.
It's so cool, guys.
Yeah, I love the solar system. I love living out here. I don't think I could live back in the city again, but
Happy Thanksgiving.
before that, there's Jess.
There's Jess. She's being very needy.
Okay, guys.
We're gonna go walk the dogs now.
I need to go potty. I need to go potty.
All right, fine.
You can go outside anytime. You're not held captive here.
We have a dog door.
Hey.
And this is why we don't record things where we sit down. We're always doing things because our dogs don't let us.
Dogs.
Have a happy Thanksgiving. Bye.
Dogs.